Many factors have influenced the history of painting. Geography, religion, historic events, and the development of new materials mostly shaped how painting grew. Throughout history, painting has mirrored the changing world around it and the population's changing feelings and thoughts about it. Artists have provided some of the best records of the evolution of civilization, sometimes even better than some of the written words left behind. It gives us a look into civilization's thought process and how they perceive things. Cave dwellers were the earliest artists. They colored drawings of animals dating back to around 30,000 to 10,000 BC. During that time, they drew wild animals that they saw, very simple human figures, and mountainscapes. The pigments used by cave painters were earth ochres with a color ranging from light yellow to deep orange, and manganese, a metallic element. These were crushed into a fine powder mixed together with animal fat and put on some sort of handmade brush. The grease mixed with the powdered pigments made the fluid and the pigments stick together, thus essentially making paint. The cave dwellers must have made brushes out of animal hairs or plants and sharp tools out of woods for drawing and scratching lines. At the turn of the 20th century, artists were turning against the more formal teachings and started to create art that didn't necessarily reflect objects in the real world. Abstract artists experimented with new techniques. The new techniques being used were vivid yet contrasting colors, reconstructing shapes, and diverting from a realistic 3D perspective. Experimentation with colors and evoking emotions was one of the primary interests of abstract artists. The abstract art movement, started in the United States, was called abstract expressionism because although the art had no subject, it was still trying to convey some kind of emotion or reaction from the audience. In its purest form, abstract art has no subject. It's just lines, shapes, and colors. An abstract painting normally describes the artist's impression of a scene or person. There are theories focused on the emotions and how they were caused by certain colors and shapes. Abstract art takes the pressure off the need to make a picture of something. Abstract art is more about the shapes and colors and the feelings it expresses, not about the accurate portrayal of a subject. Abstract art also encourages discussion about colors, shapes, and lines, which are concepts young children are learning. So it's good to start expanding children's mind to the art world at a young age due to the great response. Abstract art is something young children can make. Popularly liked by children, geometric abstraction is a form of abstract art based on the use of geometric forms. Most of all, abstract art is seen differently by everyone. The key factor of abstract art is its randomness, and it has no specific design. Instead, it's the randomness of colors and shapes that are used to represent emotions. Abstract expressionist paintings share certain characteristics. The artists use large canvases, sometimes very large. There is an all-over approach. The whole canvas is treated with equal importance, as opposed to the center being of more interest than the edges. Joe Papagoda is one of the finest abstract artists, and he portrays randomness very well. Using fluid and organic matter in his artwork, his abstract expressionism has won the hearts of the contemporary audience of this era. Jackson Pollock, on the other hand, his dripping paint onto a canvas laid on the floor is a method of using spontaneity. This brought some new factors into art: action, movements, how the artist works, and the work was planned, but details were not. With his drip paintings and gigantic canvases, this American artist revolutionized the art world. His troubled life sometimes helped him create work that had never been done before, leading him to quickly become a major figure in the art scene and become widely renowned for his unique artistry. The concept of Petit Mondrian originated in the 1920s by a modern Dutch abstract expressionist. The Mondrian concept of abstraction taught representing of the energy and the balance of focusing on nature and the universe. I want to express a certain feeling and emotion by creating an entire environment for the viewer to walk into or observe from afar. By using materials in a direct and simple way, not transforming or altering them greatly from their natural state, I can really engage with the audience. I prefer to keep pieces as broad and non-objective as possible to allow the viewer to bring it in their own interpretations drawn from their own experiences when using abstract art.